Okay, mic check, mic check. All right. Chalk 1 here. We are sitting in the Bahamas, and you know what? It's a thundering. Oh, the sky's clearing. There was lightning in the forecast. Looks okay, actually. Doesn't look too bad. Let's see if we can get ourselves on the road here. The simulator's been crashing on me last week, so if I disappear, or rather if the simulator crashes on us, then we're probably we're not gonna fight it today. We're gonna hope for the best, but we're not gonna force it. If things don't want to go well, then they just won't go well. But let's hope for the best. Introduce fuel. So we've got Chatterino going. We've got the music going. We've got the lovely display going, courtesy of the working title mod. Yaw damper on. Half bank on for the comfort. And I forgot to launch one app. Darn. Let's see if I can manage to do that. Hey, look at that. Chalk, flight time with Chalk. Pick up the right runway on takeoff. I think I will this time. But we are going to try it real quick and see if I can launch that other app. Okay, well, we've opened it. We'll see if that's enough. My little app actually put your message into the simulator daemon, so that gives me hope. Maybe. I know that we are supposed to be on decimal frequency 118.3 for the ground clearance here, so let's dial that in and see if we can talk to somebody. We still need to turn on our bleed and all our lights, so let's actually do that first. Taxi lights are on. Let's turn on the panel lighting again. There we go. Chalk 280 radio check.
Chalk 280, you are loud and clear.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear. It was raining when I started. It looks to be clearing up though. Chalk 280 ready to copy IFR clearance.
Chalk 280 is cleared to Mike Uniform Hotel Alpha as filed. Expect departure runway 32. Climb and maintain 4,000 feet. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Squawk 4336.
Expect departure runway 32, Chalk 280.
Chalk 280, this is Nassau clearance delivery on 118.3. Please repeat your request.
Okay, bear with me 1 second. Sorry about that. I thought I got a whiff of a burning smell of some sort. So, like a candle, which is weird. So I just have to have a quick look. We'll see if my computer turns off because it's overheating or some nonsense like that. Hopefully not, though.
Don't be afraid to borrow.
Okay, I think we are okay to do that. Let's see. We were supposed to go to 4,000.
These tiny things. Just snatch them all up.
What's going on? Why is this not working? Okay, there we go. Oh, what is going on? Why is that doing the thing? It's always something, man.
Stuff out is because I don't have a problem reusing or borrowing something that I heard.
Let's request some pushback.
And I used to, because I thought it was not original, not creative. But I quickly found out that I am not original or creative. I can't make up a new thing.
Let's just do this again, by the way. Chalk 280 ready to copy IFR clearance.
Chalk 280 is cleared to Mike
And I
Uniform
very much
Hotel
doubt
Alpha
the
F5.
ways that any people
Expect
know
departure runway
this.
32.
First instance to think of a
Climb and maintain
presentation.
4,000
So once
feet.
you get over that,
Expect
sounds
higher
good.
clearances 2 minutes after departure.
So just borrow.
Squawk 4336.
Basically, let's just copy it and just do a little changey thing and pretend, like it's yours. No one will know.
Cleared as filed, Chalk 286. That's not my number. Chalk 280.
No one knows.
So we need to go in that direction, all the way down to the end of that runway
Generation pretend.
for runway 32.
Kind of original. Is it?
I think. Yeah, we're still going to Cuba.
Obviously, chords.
I can see that my app that sends stuff into the thing, it always works once and then something goes wrong. And I'm not sure what that is. I wonder if it's got something to do with the pretzel rock stuff in between.
Subtle. Like it's sneaky.
In any case, for some reason, yeah, I'd gotten a weird smell of something sizzling, so I had to take a quick look.
Also be respectful.
It's one thing that's actually super annoying is when you're in VR, you feel very disconnected from the rest of the surroundings, of course, which can be a little bit scary. So I just wanted to make sure that everything was okay, what it appears to be. Oh shit, we should have actually waited for this. Hold on. Chalk 280 ready to taxi.
Chalk 280, this is Nassau clearance delivery on 118.3. Please repeat your request.
You start to make
Chalk 280 ready to taxi.
Chalk 280, this is Nassau
Oh, for
clearance delivery on
frick's sake.
118.3. Please repeat your request.
Chalk 280
the same artist.
ready to copy IFR clearance.
Chalk 280 is cleared to Mike Uniform Hotel Alpha F5. Expect departure runway 32. Climb and maintain 4,000 feet. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure.
A lot of different
Squawk
corporations.
4336.
You know what? If I do this and I do this,
Cleared as filed. Expect runway 32, climb to 4,000 feet. Higher elevations later. Chalk 280.
Read backing correct. 280 cleared to Mike Uniform Hotel Alpha Squawk 4336.
Squawk 4336, Chalk 280. Chalk 280 ready to taxi.
Chalk 280, this is Nassau clearance delivery on 118.3. Please repeat your request.
Chalk 280, ready to copy IFR clearance.
Chalk 280 is cleared to my Chalk 280 read back correct. Altimeter 2992 contact ground on 121.7 when ready to taxi.
121.7. Chalk 280, ready to taxi.
Chalk 280 taxi to runway 32 via taxiways Alpha, hold short runway 32.
Taxi to runway 32 via taxiways Alpha, hold short runway 32, Chalk 280. So we are going all the way down to this end here, if I am correct. Chances that I am not are high. However, I checked, there's really only one. There's only one taxiway here, so 2 runways actually, but I know this is the right runway, and I'm pretty sure this is the... No, actually this is probably the wrong end again. Why did I have that written down wrong earlier? Actually, no, that should be the right one. Well, we're just gonna find out. I don't know, man. I feel like last time I thought I landed on runway 14, but I must have landed runway 32, which is the one we're taking off, because this is the same. We're heading to the same spot where I took off last time. I'm really hoping that my neighbor is just like grilling something in his kitchen, and that's the smell I'm getting. Like outside my window is the pretty nearby is like their exhaust fan from my neighbor's kitchen. It just smells a little bit roasty. This is a pretty big airport, actually. See what the sign says. The sign will tell us. 32.
Chalk 280
Yep,
contact tower on 119.5. Have a nice flight.
Tower on 119.5. Chalk 280. We picked the right runway. Chalk 280, ready for departure, runway 32.
Aircraft calling tower, say again with your call sign.
Chalk 280, ready for departure, runway 32.
Chalk 280 winds are calm, cleared for takeoff. Runway 32 squawk 4336, maintain runway heading until above 1000 feet, then turn left heading 1842, intercept course.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 32, Chalk 280. Okay, we're set. Let's do it. This airplane gets airborne so much faster than the other ones I've been flying lately. A bit of a nice view. We are going to be heading left. Oh, something's broken again. That is so bizarre.
Chalk 280, contact Nassau Center on 125.7. Have a good morning.
Center on 125.7. Chalk 280. Chalk 280 at 2,000 for 4,000 feet.
Chalk 280, good morning. Squawk 4336.
Oh, that's beautiful. See, it looks like there's just a bit of rain clouds right over the Nassau here, right over the airport. Some around, obviously, but overall, not too bad. Because for some reason, ATC insisted on giving us the other runway than what I had programmed into the autopilot, we're going to make a rather bizarre loop back over the island and then around, but that's just how it is.
Chalk 280, climb and maintain 6,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 6,000 feet, Chalk 280. Well, we get to have a nice look at the, I guess this is like the eastern island, the main east island of the Bahamas. Get to have a look at this. Look at this golf course here. And the water, wow. Didn't really get a good look during the landing because I was too busy. It's nice to have a look now, though. Water is like a really beautiful color. More golf. I love this view. I love sitting right up next to the glass in VR. It's a beautifully amazing experience. There's the airport. That's where we took off from. About to make a right turn and get back on our course here. Like I said, the autopilot is programmed in a bit wonkily. I had it all planned out nicely to depart on runway 14, and then they gave us 32. But such is life. I'm glad we're not flying into that soup over there. We're flying over in that direction, where it is much less densely cloudy. Oh, look at this water. It's totally worth the little weird zigzag we're doing here just for the look at the scenery, to be honest. And we should be able to get a look at that barrier reef, Sean, that you mentioned as a interesting fun fact last time, because we're flying sort of past it. And we're only flying at 6,000 feet, so we're already at our cruising altitude. We're not going to get any higher today. Again, because I like flying low over the Caribbean. Oh! Just a very brief hourglass, but it didn't last. That's good. Quick look outside the airplane, looking back at Nassau. Love those views. Is it possible to have a drink with a VR headset on? We'll find out. Not really. No, it's not possible. Fun fact, Monopoly, the Parker Brothers game of financial domination, is banned in all of Cuba. Oh, because of the whole capitalism thing? Too much capitalism in Monopoly. Though honestly, like, I don't know if Monopoly is really, like, a great game for kids to learn. Or not. It does reward kind of ruthless corporate capitalism. Oh, lightning! I don't know if you saw that. Jesus. They still have this weird bug where it's... I mean, it's not clear skies by any means, but... didn't really expect a lightning strike to go off here. Did you catch that, Sean? I want to keep looking in that direction and see if there's going to be any more. Nice. I did a landing once, and it was very cloudy. It was very difficult to see anything, and then the lightning started going off, and it was pretty spooky. That was before VR, though. That was just in 2D, and it was fairly impressively intimidating. So I can't even imagine what it would be like to encounter that in the VR headset. So the land ahead of us there, that large landmass, this is still the Bahamas, and that's like the western island, which is significantly larger than the one that we just left. And I think, pretty much straight ahead of us there, I think somewhere there is the Great Barrier Reef of the Bahamas. I don't know how well we can line this up with our navigation map, but it's, I believe it's going to be just to our left. It's probably right on that 270-degree track. So we won't be flying directly over it, but we should be able to get a look at it, I'm hoping. Because ever since you mentioned that as a fun fact, the last leg, I've been wanting to see it. Just having a quick look around the cockpit. Everything looks in order. All the lights are as they should be. Once we make our way across this western Bahama island, we'll speed up the sim rate a little bit, get ourselves over to Havana, Cuba a bit faster. It is supposed to take lightning off of the real weather. But I believe that the sim has had a long-standing bug where it generates lightning even though the weather doesn't match those conditions. And I know that they have been trying to fix that for a while. You know, every time I see it and this happens, it's like, well, I guess they haven't quite fixed it yet, because I mean, maybe it's possible that there would be lightning strike in these kind of clear, fluffy clouds, but it doesn't seem right. Though it is much less of an issue. I will say that when I took off and I set up the flight and I turned on the live weather, it did tell me that there were lightning conditions, thunderstorm conditions. When I got to the airport, it didn't really look like that. You know, pretty sunny skies, some broken up clouds. So I wonder if maybe the issue is actually not so much that the lightning is incorrect, but maybe the rest of the cloud cover should be much more gray and dark. I don't know. Though I don't mind. This, to me, is like the perfect weather to fly in. You can see stuff, but you still have a little bit of the texture of the clouds. It's not just... Because, in my opinion, the clouds look amazing. So having those around is kind of fun to see. So I want to keep looking out in this direction here, because that barrier reef is, well, it's down here somewhere. It might be ahead of us there. I don't know exactly. I'm not entirely sure what to look for. Maybe it's further off in that direction. All I know that when you read that last time, Sean, it said that it was on the east side of the western island, west of Nassau, which is, I'm actually kind of leaning for it being down there. Covered by clouds. That could be a reef. I bet you if you look up some real photos, you'd be able to tell. Yeah, I guess so. I guess it also depends on how well they rendered stuff around here. Let's leave the cockpit again for a few minutes here and see if we see anything. You can see that this part of the island is much less populated than where we just came from. Like that looks like it might be a reef. That line, those things, they're sort of sticking out of the water. Yeah, I guess you're right. I will Google some images after the flight. It's more difficult to do that with the headset on. So we were flying out in this line for a little bit, and once we make our we head on this large lake there at Jerry, At Jerry, that's when we're going to turn the sim rate up a bit. We're going to get ourselves on heading hold mode so that the plane doesn't go psycho on us, like it likes to do with the nav mode on. And we'll speed up a little bit so that we can cut down on the time a little bit as we cross just open water, basically. Listen, mouse cursor, you can go and F right off. Super pretty. I think this is the perfect plane to fly around the world in because it's a perfect mixture between speed and altitude and taking in the scenery. Skies look pretty clear ahead, so we're basically heading off in this direction. Roughly in this direction is where Cuba is. We're flying another track here out of this area. I like how this updated version of the nav map actually shows you these the tracks, like the actual lines. They're essentially like highways in the sky. So they're like established routes. You don't have to fly those, but if you're flying by instrument rules, you have to file like a plan that follows those outlined paths. Which I never knew about, but it makes sense because if you've ever looked at one of those maps that shows you like live air traffic, there's actually quite a lot going on in the sky at any given moment. Not so much nowadays, but, you know, a year and a half ago, pre-pandemic, so many flights, and there's still a lot of them going on now, just for cargo and shipping alone.
Chalk 280 expect the April 3 arrival for the RNAV approach to runway 24 at Jose Marti International after Jerry cleared direct to fill.
Clear direct to fill, Chalk 280. So we already have our clearance for our approach, which is, you know, because we don't actually have that far to go once we leave here. And it's a pretty long approach. Like, that airport must, actually I looked it up, it wasn't that big, but it clearly has a lot of international flights going to it and a lot of large aircraft because they actually have arrivals, which are different from approaches. When you land at an airport, typically it's broken up into three things. Of course, you've got your actual runway that you're landing on, and then you have your approach, and that approach takes you into the proper path of that runway. And then before that, you have arrivals, which are much further out pathways to get you to an approach point, a transition, and then from there you land. This is to help coordinate all the airplanes so that they're not just coming in from all various directions. That is my layman's understanding of how arrivals, approaches, and runways work. Oh, that's interesting that the app would notify you when a plane was going up overhead. The only time I've ever really looked at those before was if I've had like a family member or somebody that I, you know, like someone that was currently on a flight. I would check in every once in a while just to see like, oh, okay, it looks like they're probably on time, you know. But yeah, it's incredible just how much is going on up there. It's not something you really think about a lot because often you don't see it. And like I've mentioned before, I was surprised by how many airports are around where I live. Obviously, I was aware of, you know, the larger airports, you know, your aware of the ones that you've flown out of before, and occasionally you see like signs for some smaller regional airports. But I had no idea that there were so many airstrips. Just they're all over the place. It's surprising you're not seeing more airplanes, because judging by all this, like, there's people flying constantly all the time. One last look at the Bahamas behind us. I would love to visit one day in real life. The thing that also really appeals to me about the Bahamas, or like the Caribbean in general, are all the pirate stories from back in the day, the pirate harbors, and you know, all that stuff. If you've never watched, have you ever watched the show Black Flag, Sean? If you haven't, it's an excellent pirate show. Not for kids at all, but I think you'd enjoy it. It's very good. I don't actually know if it's available on any of the sort of usual streaming services in Canada, but it's been over for a few years, but it's very good. Okay, so we're making our turn to our heading towards Tania, which will be bearing 2